The Oriental Orthodox Church, Ancient Faith in the Modern World. Hello everyone and welcome back to Bible History. I'm so glad you've joined us today on this journey through the fascinating world of Christian heritage. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos on biblical and church history. Today, we're exploring one of Christianity's most ancient and venerable traditions, the Oriental Orthodox Church. While not as widely known in the West as other Christian denominations, these churches represent some of the oldest continuous Christian communities in the world, with rich history stretching back to the very beginnings of our faith. Historical development. Christianity spread rapidly throughout the ancient Near East and Northeast Africa in the first few centuries after Christ. Communities in Egypt, Ethiopia, Armenia, Syria, and India developed their own distinct Christian traditions while maintaining communion with each other. But a pivotal moment came in 451 AD at the Council of Chalcedon. This council was called to address complex theological questions about the nature of Christ, specifically how his divine and human natures related to each other. The Council of Chalcedon declared that Christ is acknowledged in two natures, without confusion, without change, without division, without separation. This became the position of what would later become the Eastern Orthodox and Roman Catholic churches. However, the churches we now call Oriental Orthodox rejected this formula. They weren't comfortable with language that seemed to separate Christ's natures and instead preferred to emphasize the unity of Christ's divinity and humanity. This theological disagreement had enormous consequences. These churches, including the Coptic Church of Egypt, the Syrian Orthodox Church, the Armenian Apostolic Church, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, the Eritrean Orthodox Tewahedo Church, and the Malankara Orthodox Syrian Church of India, broke communion with the rest of Christendom. For centuries, they were often mischaracterized as monophysites, believing Christ had only one nature, though they themselves rejected this label. Today, scholars recognize that the division may have been as much about politics, culture, and language as theology. For centuries, they were often mischaracterized as monophysites, believing Christ had only one nature, though they themselves rejected this label. Today, scholars recognize that the division may have been as much about politics, culture, and language as theology. Interestingly, the term Oriental Orthodox as a collective name for these churches is relatively recent. The formal organization of these churches as a communion began in the early 20th century, with significant developments during the reign of Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, 1930 to 1974. In the 1950s and 1960s, Haile Selassie played a crucial role in bringing these ancient churches together in formal conferences and establishing their collective identity as the Oriental Orthodox family of churches. Theology. The Oriental Orthodox maintain a distinctive Christology, often described as miaphysite rather than monophysite. They believe that Christ has one united nature that is both fully divine and fully human, without separation, mixture, or confusion. To understand this, think of steel forged in fire. When iron and carbon are combined through heat, they create something new, steel, which contains properties of both original elements but can't be separated back into them. The iron doesn't cease to be iron, nor does the carbon cease to be carbon, but they exist in perfect, inseparable union. Similarly, Christ's divine and human aspects are united while both remaining fully present and distinct. Unlike what some outsiders have claimed, they do not teach that Christ's human nature was absorbed by his divine nature. Their position is more nuanced, emphasizing the complete unity of Christ while affirming both his full humanity and full divinity. Other key theological aspects include strong emphasis on apostolic succession. Their bishops trace their authority back to Christ's apostles' veneration of saints, especially martyrs, who play an important role in their spiritual life. Rich tradition of iconography. Those styles differ from Eastern Orthodox icons. Profound reverence for the Virgin Mary, who they call Theotokos, or bearer of God. Modern practices. When you enter an Oriental Orthodox church today, you're stepping into living traditions that have remained remarkably consistent for almost 2 millennia. The Divine Liturgy stands at the center of worship. Services feature ancient languages, Coptic in Egypt, Guizi in Ethiopia and Eritrea, Classical Armenian in Armenia, and Syriac, a dialect of Aramaic, the language Jesus spoke. in the Syrian and Indian churches. Worship engages all the senses: the smell of incense, the sound of ancient chants, the sight of ornate icons, the touch of prostrations, and in the Eucharist, the taste of communion bread and wine, which they believe truly becomes the body and blood of Christ. Fasting plays a major role in Oriental Orthodox spirituality. In some traditions, believers may fast for over 200 days each year, abstaining from animal products. These fasts create a rhythm of spiritual discipline throughout the year. Monasticism remains vibrant, especially in Egypt, Ethiopia, and Armenia. Monasteries aren't just retreats for monks and nuns but often serve as centers of education, manuscript preservation, and social services. Contemporary challenges and developments. Today, the Oriental Orthodox Churches face significant challenges. In their Middle Eastern homelands, many communities have suffered persecution. The Coptic Church has endured terrorist attacks on its churches, while the Syrian Orthodox have been displaced by civil war. Yet these ancient churches are also experiencing revival and global expansion. Diaspora communities have established thriving parishes across North America, Europe, and Australia. In Ethiopia, the Orthodox Tewahedo Church remains the largest religious body in the nation. An encouraging development has been improved relations with other Christian traditions. Theological dialogues with Eastern Orthodox and Catholic churches have revealed more common ground than previously recognized. In 1990, the Eastern Orthodox and Oriental Orthodox Churches issued an agreement acknowledging their shared faith despite different theological expressions. In conclusion, the Oriental Orthodox tradition reminds us that Christianity has always been diverse, with different cultural expressions and theological emphases. These churches preserved Christian faith through Islamic conquests, colonialism, and modern persecution. Their continued existence testifies to remarkable resilience and deep faith. As we study Christian history, the Oriental Orthodox deserve our attention and respect as faithful witnesses to Christ across nearly 2,000 years. I hope this exploration of the Oriental Orthodox churches has expanded your understanding of Christian diversity and history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might be interested. And don't forget to leave your comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts or questions about the Oriental Orthodox tradition. Until next time, thank you for watching Bible History.